For far too long, we've talked about training reinforcement. For far too long, organizations, in theory, have blamed training departments. Now, I am the biggest advocate and supporter of training and training reinforcement. But for far too long, we have managers who don't participate in the process, they don't coach, they don't partner when it comes to training reinforcement, but they're the very people who say at the end of the year, we need more training. Training plus reinforcement equals behavioral and skill change. This presentation is about the keys to success, helping managers become training reinforcement and coaching partners. First of all, why coaching? The bulk of an employee's time is spent with his or her team or their manager. At the end of the year, one person does an employee's end of the year review. It's not the training department. It's not the trainer. It's the employee's direct manager. The number one reason why people leave organizations today has nothing to do with training and learning. The number one reason people leave organizations is the relationship they have with their manager. The manager is the number one reason why somebody leaves an organization. So it begs the question, why coaching? Because managers have the opportunity to engage and bring what has already been done well for decades, and that is the dissemination of training and learning services by the L&D departments. Coaching is required. Quite frankly, coaching is already being done. See, when a manager is silent and they don't address training or what was learned or reinforce it, they've given nonverbal permission to not apply it. See, silence is powerful. It is a form of coaching. It is a form of a message. But if managers are coaching, asking questions, participating in the facilitation of change as a true partner to training reinforcement, two things happen. We develop the employee and we keep the employee. So why managers will not coach has always been a puzzle. Now, the number one objection we get is they don't have time. I always laugh at this for one reason. Who does the hiring when that employee leaves? Because if you don't have time to coach, you can't have time to hire new employees. The real reason managers do not know how to coach or they won't coach is because they don't know what to say and they don't know what to do. So when we look at the process of training and learning, people attend a classroom or an e-learning platform and they'll get some knowledge and they'll have some knowledge dissemination. And then there will also be some in-training application where maybe there's some role-playing or skill or behavioral application. But ultimately, the employee spends the bulk of his or her time back at the office, in the workplace. And this is where training reinforcement is such a great partner, and not just for L&D departments, but for the managers, but more importantly for the employee. The major bulk of employee time is done back at the office, so why not leverage that? Because in theory, managers are already coaching. Through silence, they're saying, don't worry about it. Through engagement, questions, activities, they're saying, let's get better together. So when we look at the process, and what we've done here at Progress Coaching is we've built a process, and it looks simple, but we work with companies to take their classroom and their e-learning or their online materials and apply them into a training reinforcement role. So when we think about the classroom and training, we think about it being interactive and simulated, and we hope there's knowledge and skill development transfer. And if we take courses online, those are easy to schedule, they're accessible, they're typically pretty content driven. There's a sense of validation because someone has to maybe test out of a course where sometimes in a classroom they can passively participate. So the missing piece has always been training reinforcement. But when you hear the term training reinforcement, that does not mean it's the training department or the L&D department's sole responsibility. So what we do when we build a coaching bridge is we map the application and desired outcome so managers can know exactly what to do in one-on-one and group coaching. We give the exact questions, activities, learning projects for accountability, and we even teach supplemental coaching strategies specific to training and learning desired outcomes that take no in-person time on the part of the manager. So if you're interested in learning how to bridge your training into a world where it is reinforced through creativity and coaching, check out our Coaching Bridge course and our Coaching Bridge suite of services.